Alright guys, this is my Class A motorhome. It's a Thor Hurricane 2018. Here's my battery compartment. I'm actually swapping out these two 12-volt lead acid batteries for a 300 amp hour lithium battery. And where I'm at right now is I marked all of the connections here. Two of these cables I'm not going to reuse because two of them connect the positives together and the negatives together because they're both 12-volt batteries, so I can get rid of those two. And then I just marked my positives with the gray duct tape, you can see here, and then negatives with the black duct tape. That's just I just need two separate colors here. So positive, negative, there's a positive back here. There's 4 positives and 3 negatives that I'm going to be reusing and hooking up to the new battery. Now, one challenge I'm going to have is there's a battery tray here with a lip around it right here, and then there's a metal bar here that separates the two batteries. So I'm going to actually have to use a grinder and remove that metal bar and remove that metal bar so that this bigger battery is going to fit all the way over to here, and then I'll be able to strap it down. I think you can see there's a little notch here on either side. I can use a strap it down from there. So now that I have all my cables marked, I even took a video of it just so I have that, but I've turned the power off, and I'm just going to loosen up all the connections, take off all the cables. All right, the battery's out. Here you can see this bar in the middle that's going to be a problem. I'm just going to use my angle grinder and just cut the welds out on this one and this one to fit this bigger battery. Let me show you the big problem here, guys, and that is the guy I bought this RV from a few months ago said he replaced the batteries recently, within a year or so. Look at the type of battery that was replaced with. Both of them are a marine starting battery. That's exactly the type of battery you do not want to have in your RV. You need to have, here's my replacement, a deep cycle. Deep cycles are made for charge and recharge cycles and give more power over those periods of time. These are just for starting an engine. So they give a lot of amperage up front, but they're not able to be charged and discharged on a regular basis like a deep cycle. So these had to go. And this is the battery I'm replacing it with. It's a lithium ion battery, 300 amp hour, but it's a big 12 volt. It's a Chins. I found this on Amazon, guys, and this was actually, for a 300 amp hour battery, is actually the same price or even a little bit less than one Battleborn battery that's the 100 amp hour. So kind of, 3 times the amount of power for a third of the cost, which is pretty good. So I'm going to try this out. I'm going to put this in here, so it's going to take up most of this compartment here, probably all the way to here, and so I just need to get this compartment ready to go. I also need to I'm going to clean off I'm going to get a brush all the corrosion off these ends, so that way they're clean and ready to go. Now, one other component to doing a lithium upgrade is my coach has, if you can see in the back here, it's this little, it's called, this one in here back here is a BIM 160. It's a battery isolation manager, and what it does is it helps charge the house batteries as well as the chassis battery from the alternator of the vehicle. And in order to safely charge this new lithium battery, I need to upgrade that to this lithium. It's the LI BIM 225. It's a little safer, it's a little more friendly to the lithium batteries. It doesn't charge it constantly because the lithium batteries can take a ton of power. It'll burn up the alternator. This does like a 15-minute charge and then takes a break for 15 minutes, kind of off and on cycles. So this is kind of the necessary equipment that you need to upgrade your RV to lithium, and that is this BIM and then the actual battery itself. Once I get this prepped here, I'm going to remove that old one, and all of the connections are the same. All I'll have to do is just remove each wire, hook it up to this one, and I'm going to mount it in that same location right there. Okay, so I finished up this battery tray. It's all ground down. Got those bars out. It took a little bit of work. Now I'm just going to clean this up, degrease it, put some Rust-Oleum paint over it so it doesn't rust. And now I'm just working on this BIM here in the back. I just got it loosened from the back. And I'm just going to swap all the wires back over. It's got the same wires. It should be an easy swap. And I'll just mount it right in the same location. Okay, my new battery manager is now in. It was actually just a direct swap on all of the terminals, so I just swapped over the same ones. This is the same exact size. I was able to use the same screw holes in the frame there, so I just swapped everything over. Now I just need to get this kind of cleaned up here, paint this a little bit, and then I'm going to clean up all the terminals. All right, paint's pretty much dry. I'm gonna get my battery in. So now I just need to make all my battery connections. Okay guys, got the battery installed, everything's working good. The hardest part of this was really just fabricating the space to be able to fit this. I still need to figure out a strap system. There is some little notches in the metal on either side. I can just put maybe a strap, some kind of, I also have these little string handle, the rope handle things I can use to strap down, maybe to the sides and things. So I still need to figure that part out, but as far as it working, everything's good. I don't have any trips planned right now, so I still got a little bit of time to kind of figure out how to secure it down. But installing it was really pretty easy, just connecting the positive wires to the positive side, negative to the negative, and it's good to go. Also, the added expense of the battery management system, the lithium battery system that I installed, you know, that was an added expense to consider, but that one was just a straight swap over of all the wires, so nothing really hard there. So to wrap things up, guys, I just want to talk about some of the numbers and the reason why I chose the lithium over just doing a lead acid replacement. Now, I have a refrigerator on this this RV. This is actually like a residential style refrigerator that runs off a 110 volt plug, and there's an inverter that's taking power from the battery, converting it so that it can be used on this 110 outlet. And so we do a lot of boondocking, and so if there's a couple days we're not going to be plugged into power, and so I wanted something to be able to power my inverter, have enough storage capacity to be able to power that inverter, and be able to run my refrigerator without having to turn it off and on and so forth. So that was one of the reasons why I was even considered. The other alternative was replacing this with some lead acid batteries. And what I figured is to be able to get a similar capacity as this 300 amp hour lithium battery, I was probably going to do 4 6-volt batteries that probably have, you know, around 120 to 140 amp hour rating, run 2 of them in series, 2 in series, and then parallel, so we'll get 12 volts, a 12 volt bank out of 4 6-volt batteries. That was the other option, but those are going to be close to $180 or so a piece, and so it wasn't going to be a whole lot more, maybe $200-300 more when considering the cost of the battery management system that I had to upgrade. $200-400 more to go the lithium route. The lithium route I like because I don't have to worry about maintaining the batteries. If I was to convert, or even the batteries I have in there now, or even the 6-volt like golf cart batteries, I was going to have to maintain those on a regular basis, maintaining the you know, the water levels, making sure that they're not overcharged, make sure you don't discharge them too much. It just seems like kind of a hassle when it comes to maintenance. And these lithium batteries can be charged and discharged on a regular basis from all the way 0 to all the way to 100% and back down to 0. You don't have to worry about discharging them too much. They can go down to 0 and then be charged all the way back up, and you're not harming them. And they can go through thousands of charge and discharge cycles, and they're going to last a lot longer. So that's that was a consideration when doing this project, and you're probably considering the same thing if you're looking at this kind of video about lead acid batteries, AGM, lithium, what should you go with? It definitely didn't make sense to go with, like for example, Battleborn. You've probably heard of Battleborn batteries. I looked into their battery systems, and it would have been 3 to 4 times the cost. To have that same kind of battery, they do have a big almost 300 amp hour battery that I'm thinking was almost $3,000. That doesn't make sense because you can get the lead acid batteries for $700-800, you know, let's say $700. That makes more sense. But if you can get something that's closer to like just under $1,000, like this Chin's 300 amp hour battery was, well, that's now very close in comparison to a lead acid battery, and I think it made a little more sense. So anyways, guys, hopefully you found this useful or helpful. Feel free to leave any comments down below if you have some insights or knowledge that you want to share with everyone else about these lithium batteries, lithium versus lead acid in your RV. Feel free to leave them below so we can all learn about this. Also, be sure to see the links down below. I'll leave a link down below to all the battery wiring stuff, the battery management system that I got, the battery itself. Most of you can find this on Amazon. I'll leave links down below. But be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.